Okay, here's my second shelf of my bookshelf. Let's start with the toys. We got a Star Wars M&M lightsaber that I got as a gift from my goddaughter as part of my Easter basket from her, and it lights up red. But that doesn't mean I'm a Sith. And then we got a Harry Potter light up wand. You just say Alohomora. Or not Aloha, wow. Lumos. And it lights up. Well, you don't say it. It just, you just flick it 3 times and it lights up. But you could be cool and, like, tell people that it really lights up by saying Lumos, I guess, and if you time it right. Anyways, let's get past that, because I'm kind of dumb. And then we got William Strunk Jr. and E.B. White with the Elements of Style. It's pretty much a writing manual. It's the 4th edition, I guess. That's what it says on there. Then you got Wrigley Field, the fan navigator to Wrigleyville. I got that for like $1 at Jewel, which is a grocery store, once again. And then you got an old school synonyms and antonyms thesaurus. And then you got the new Spanish dictionary, which is not new anymore. It was at the time. Then you got the Oxford Dictionary and Thesaurus. And then starting here we got The Living Dead, which is a collection of short stories, which is edited by John Joseph Adams. And there's a lot of cool short stories on here. You know, one by Clive Barker, Neil Gaiman, Stephen King does one, and George R.R. Martin does one as well. Then you got the portable Dorothy Parker, and if you've never heard of Dorothy Parker, you should check her out. She's hilarious, or she was hilarious. She's no longer with us, but she's hilarious, and she's funny and witty. And if she were alive today, I'd ask her on a date. Then we got The Street by Ann Petrie. Then we got Ethan Frome in Summer by Edith Wharton. Then we got Nathaniel Hawthorne's collection of short stories, Young Goodman Brown and Other Short Stories. The one with the butterfly, with the guy who makes the metal butterfly, or the robot butterfly. And then you got Rappaccini's Daughters in there, and then there's another one in there too. But his short stories are pretty good. And I've never read The Red Badge of Courage by him, so hopefully it's as good as the short stories. Then we got Lord Jim, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and then Robinson Crusoe by Defoe, and those are the Norton Critical Editions. I had to get those for school. Then we got Richard Wright's novel Native Son, which is very good. I really liked that when I read it. Then we got the Barnes & Noble Classic Editions of War of the Worlds, and The Time Machine and the Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Oh, excuse me. Just a yawn there. And let's move these so we can get to this book here. It's hard to read, but it's Women in Fiction, short stories and by and about women. And it's got some great women authors on here. It's got Kate Chopin, Joyce Carol Oates, Flannery O'Connor, Edith Wharton, Virginia Woolf, and many more. But it's really good. I took a women in literature class, and that was the book we had to buy for it. Then we got the first 2 books in the Dark Tower series, which are out of order. Wow, let's fix that while we're here. The Gunslinger and The Drawing of Three by Stephen King. Then you got The Stand by Stephen King, and this is the complete and uncut edition, and I still have yet to read this, and I'm really looking forward to it when I do. Then you got Alice Walker's novel The Color Purple. Then we got John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men here. Then we got The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. We got A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry, and I really enjoyed reading that. It's actually a play, but I call it a book. And then we got I Want to Be Your Joey Ramone by Stephanie Cunard. Cunhart. I don't know how to say it, but she's actually from close to where I live, which is pretty cool, because she mentions some of the cities and towns that I'm familiar with. Then we got The Stranger by Albert Camus, and I actually just reviewed that, so if you want to go check that out, go ahead. The book and the review, I really enjoyed the book. Then we got the New York Trilogy by Paul Auster, and I've actually only read the first book in the trilogy, City of Glass. Oh, excuse me. By the way, it's like 1:45 in the morning here, so bear with me. I can't sleep, so I decided to do this because everyone does a bookshelf tour who has a review channel. Then we got A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole, and actually a while ago I put out a thing on my Facebook page asking my friends to recommend books to me, and this was the very first book that came up, and 2 people liked the comment saying that I should read it, so I picked it up out of pure peer pressure. Well, not peer pressure, but you know what I mean. Like, out of people recommending it to me, I felt implied to buy it. Then we got Cornelia Funke's novels Inkheart and Inkspell, and my uncle actually gave me this book. Funny story, he asked me if I ever heard of the book Inkheart, and I was actually reading it at the time. It was like one of the most random things ever. And I said, yeah, I'm actually reading it right now. So he gave me this book because he had 2 copies or something. Then we got The Devil's Highway by Luis Alberto Urrea, and which is actually a very good book, and it's a cool story. He teaches at the school I attend right now. Then we got the complete collection of, the complete tales and poems of Edgar Allan Poe. And then we got George Mann's 2 novels, Ghosts of Manhattan and Ghost of War, which I have yet to read, but I'm really looking forward to reading them. I think they'll be pretty interesting. I believe it's a steampunk series that takes place in like the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, let's go down to the next row, the 3rd row here, and before I get to the books, let's check out that baby Chuck Taylor with the X on the toe. When I used to wear Chuck Taylors back in the day, I used to put the X on the toe to symbolize that I was straight edge, and I'm still straight edge, but I don't do that with my kicks anymore. Then we got, starting at the left side here, we got Generation X by Douglas Copeland, and I haven't read this book, but someone told me it's like a 90s version of Catcher in the Rye, and I love Catcher in the Rye, so I picked it up. Then we got Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials, which are The Golden Compass, The Subtle Knife, and The Amber Spyglass. And I read halfway through The Golden Compass, and I for some reason I stopped reading it and never got back to it. But I hope to finish this collection one day. Then we got The Lovely Bones here by Alice Sebold. Hermann Hesse's novel Steppenwolf, which I really enjoy. And then we got the, I believe it's Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson with their Peter and the Starcatchers series. This is the first 3 books. Peter and the Starcatchers, Peter and the Shadow Thieves, Peter and the Secret of Rundoon, and that's it. And then next up, we got Brandon Mull, The Candy Shop Wars, and I actually bought that from Borders before it went out of business. And I really don't know what this book is about, to be honest with you. I just picked it up because it looked fun and interesting. Then we got Marcus Zuzak's novel, The Book Thief, and I actually just got recommended to read this book by a friend of mine, and I had it, and she asked me if I read it, and I said no, but I said, I have it, so I'll read it for you and let you know what I think. So I'm going to read that pretty soon. Then we got Salibo Magnificent by Patrick Chamuize. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I had to read that book for a detective novel class, and it was really cool. Then we got The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. I also really recommend that as well. Then we got Speak by Laurie Halsey Anderson. I reviewed that a while back. I believe it was one of my first books I reviewed, or second book I reviewed. Then we got Neil Gaiman's American Gods. I haven't read that yet, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. I should have put it on my summer reading list, but I didn't. Then we got A. Lee Martinez's novels, Gill's All Fright Diner and Monster. This Monster was the first book I reviewed for Under the Covers. Then we got Moxieland by Lauren Bucus? Yeah. Okay, then we got the Resident Evil novels, all by S.D. Perry. And if anyone's ever read the Star Wars novel, Shadows of the Empire, it's written by Steve Perry. S.D. Perry is his daughter. And then we got the book 0 Hour, the Umbrella, book 1, The Umbrella Conspiracy. Book 2, Caliban Cove, and book 3, City of the Dead. There's more books in this series, but I just have these 4, and I've only read the first 2 of them. And 0, 1, and 3 follow the video games. So if you are familiar with the games, you'll be familiar with the books. Then we got Watership Down by Richard Adams. That's also on my summer reading list, but considering summer ends next week, I don't think I'll be able to get to it, which is unfortunate because I'm looking forward to reading that. Then we got Maggie, A Girl of the Streets, and other short story or other short fiction by Stephen Crane, and also in this book is The Open Boat, The Blue Hotel, and something else, I'm not sure. Next to that we got Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe, which I was really looking forward to reading, and I really couldn't get into it when I read it, which is kind of it was kind of upsetting, kind of disappointing, but I think it's a book that should be read because it holds some historical importance and kind of helped change the way people thought about slavery. Then we got History or Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl by Harriet Jacobs. That's a book I'd read for school. Then we got the book Spray by Harry Edge, and this is actually a really fun read, and I recommend it. Well, I recommend most of the books I'm showing here, but this is a book that, if you just want to read something that's fun and quick, I recommend this one. Then we got the Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. I picked that up for $1 at the Half Price Books, and it's a pretty recent book, I think. Then we got Veronica Roth's novels Divergent and Insurgent, and Insurgent and Divergent were on my summer reading list. I got to Divergent, but I have yet to read Insurgent, and I actually reviewed Divergent if you want to go back and check that out. Alright, let's move down to the next shelf.